Hi, welcome to Hoover Hill Farms. I thought I'd give you an update. Unfortunately, Levi's Forever Home found out that they had an illness, so Levi is still available. So I've had to train him and go to the next stage because he's a little over 3 months. So I thought I would take this opportunity to show you how to set up your house when you do bring a puppy home. Now, the first thing that you really want to do, but let me show you this first. Look, no playpen. I have my house back to normal. Okay. So, uh, the other thing I wanted to show you is see my shoes sitting there. Here's where people make the biggest mistakes. You want to really, make your room safe for a puppy, remove all wiring, remove anything that you don't want them to chew on. They're puppies, they're curious. Anything that looks appetizing, they're going to tear it up, they're going to chew it. So, make sure that it's puppy safe, just like baby safe. But if you have something that you don't want to pick up, my dogs are taught the word no. And so you bring your puppy over to the area and you go, no, no touch, no. And then you have a toy over here and you go, yes, play with the toy. Yes, play with the toy. So, keep an eye on this. He'll investigate it. The first time he goes over there, say no, and then say, yes, give him the toy. Yes. And Levi has not touched this. Now, people that know me know that I train my dogs and puppies to use the bell system. And Levi is already using the bell system. He's one smart little whippersnapper. I will tell you that one. Okay, so the second thing that I really recommend, my house is 2,400 square foot, is you really want to section it off. Do not give a puppy the whole run of your house. You're only asking for trouble because their bladders are small. They're investigators. They're going to wind up getting into trouble, having accidents that you're not even aware of until their bladders develop fully. So let's go ahead and give you the tour. So my kitchen's back to normal. I have it sectioned off. I have several beds. When I want to work with them in the living room, I always make sure they're fed, they peed, they're potty, everything is safe. I work with them in this area. Now, the other thing that I recommend in your area, which is your kitchen is usually the area that, most people are very active. So I always keep their water and their kibbles. I have several beds, because poodles always want to be around the family. So, this is their bedding area. They always, drag their toys in here. But the other thing I recommend is please, please, use some type of gating system. This is a gating system that I bought off from Amazon. You can, it comes into pieces. You can create whatever you want. I don't like shutting doors. They're puppies. They're going to tear up your door. They're puppies. Use a gating system. And I love this. You can shut it, open it, and provide for them their own room. My sire and dam, this is their room. And the reason why is because I live on a farm. I go into town, for several hours shopping twice a month. But if you give them their own room, they have their water, they have their kibbles, okay? They have a window for lighting, they have their crates. And I've always told you with crates, please cover their crates. And inside their crates, I have their bedding. And I usually keep a towel down with mom and dad because poodles are territorial. I will actually feed mom and dad breakfast and dinner in here. Shut it, but not lock it. And then they will either bark at me or push the gate open when they're done eating. This way it prevents fights over food because they're hunters. Okay, now I just got home. So Levi was in here and his bladder's small. So, I'm sorry, I pee pad my puppies along with potty, training them in a litter box if you prefer, or, outside to go potty, ring the bell. But when you're gone, they have no option but to use the pee pad. And when you set up a pee pad, you really, and that's why the chair is there. The chair is there to separate, the bedding here, the chair, and then it separates where they go pee. So, and then in this room, I also have my workstation. And here's where I groom them every day, cut their nails, brush their teeth every single night. So, this is their safe room. This is their room that, they can go to, that you can go ahead and put them in here. I can shut the curtains to make it dark and comfortable for them and calm. So, I always recommend please give them their own little area. Now, Levi, he goes in here at night to sleep, and he actually sleeps in the crate at night because he can't sleep in my bed. Because if he does, he'll get too attached to me because he's available, and I don't want him getting attached to me. And I have several beds. So with mom and dad, they sleep with me in my bedroom, but I can also move my beds and put them in my bedroom on my floor if I choose for them not to sleep with me. So, this is how I recommend to set up your house when you bring home a small little puppy, a small toy, a large toy, small, to medium dog. Let's sum it up. You want to limit their space. You want to make sure it's safe. You want to go around your house to tell them, no, you can't do this. If they go there, you want to redirect them and say, no, give them a toy that they can play. Make sure that they have water and kibbles down because their tummies are so small, even though he's still being fed 3 times a day. And then you want to use a system to make it safe, which, I use a gate system. And then you want to provide their own little room with their crates that they can sleep at night. Well, I hope this helps. God bless you guys. I love you. Bye bye.